It's anywhere you're watching from, seeing from, I am from, listening to me from. I greet you in the name of Chuku Okike. Thank you so much for being part of this program this wonderful evening. Well, this evening, I just want to do something different from what you may have known or seen or heard or may have been seen. This evening, I'm going to be running a program about a prime minister, one of his State of the Nation or Union broadcast that makes sense small, you understand? So we will be listening to this broadcast while the gossipers keep gossiping. You see, one thing is that there must be given topic, and without giving them topic, they will not have anything to say. So today is a good day for them to have that which they look for, which they yearn for. They got it today. Let them go on and blab. But the truth remains that Biafra is here. Who no, you no go know. Who no understand, you no go understand. So I want you to continue to do the needful, continue to support and continue to build the nation which we are building. Very soon, very soon, like I used to tell us, this Biafra restoration now, it don't dey sweet. You understand? It don't dey sweet. Listen, if you are one of the people fighting to restore this Biafra now, where we dey now, the thing don't dey sweet. I don't dey enjoy am. Honestly, I dey enjoy am now. So countdown, you know, even reach 2 weeks again. We will be in Finland by the grace of God, and we go see the thing where we supposed to see. So you are welcome to this program as we move and as we continue. Let's go.
Good evening, my Prime Minister, His Excellency Mazi Samuel Ekpa. I called into the program not for any question, but a testimonial of what is going on and how it is. First of all, coming out is something that's why I and Dr. Rudolph had a little off and on. I'm calling from the homeland and from Biafra land precisely, and I can tell you that it is testimonial of what's going on. Before the arrival, for those of you, because most of you saying this, most of you based in America, you based in USA, you based in Europe, you're not in the homeland. But I will tell you this for free today that EML Edeji Benwe, and that thing is what I'm here to tell you. Understand? Before the emergence of PM, we know how the zoo, then we know how here has been, we know how the zoo has been, and since the existence of PM, who can testify how the zoo has been, which is of good. I'll use the answers as an example because most of you may not experience answers, but you heard and watch of it. Now, what caused answers? Military and a young boy in a white Hilux, in a white Lexus. Now that caused answers, and during answer protest, which is a civil demonstration, youths were gone down. You understand? And up to today, justice for them is of nowhere. All these things are happening in the homeland. We know how youths are going down on daily basis. And now that Prime Minister has emerged, I can tell you this for free that of this axis, of this axis is very cool. Of this axis is very cool, not like before anymore. And kudos, kudos to him and his team and what he's doing. Kudos to the Biafran army. I'm going to say that because I am calling direct from the homeland, and I'll tell you that I'll tell you that we are feeling it. We know how everything is. We know how bad it is. We know how everything from checkpoint to checkpoint. I will tell you for free. When I and my friend were driving just for nothing, we were like, should I call it, because that thing is an illegal kidnap. It's not. It's an illegal arrest. That thing is something else. We are taken from one ISO to another to Upo division, where we were collected money for free for something we will not do. For
All right.
example, that's Nigeria for you. So whatever our prime minister is doing, kudos to him and every other Igbo person or every other reasonable person. You can see North, for example, the North has gone. Here where we are, the North are coming out from the North to this side, the young ones. I got the opportunity to interview one of them. I asked what brought you to this side. He said the parents asked him to leave, that the elderly ones are asking the young ones to leave. And I asked him why, and I know why, but I'm asking him to confirm what's going on. It now seems that they are running out. This means that the Boko Haram have taken out the north, and the youth cannot stand it anymore. The older ones are asking them to leave, and truly they are leaving. But we, in our own ground, we are standing firm, and I want to tell each and every of us to support His Excellency now, because now we have the key. I don't know, after saying this now, I don't know how it's gonna be, but now we have the key. We
We have
have the key now. Support him financially and every support that he needs. Let's push this now for human betterment. Thank you. Kudos.
okay. We had that. We'll listen to another one before we go to the main video. Let's go.
Of the Biafra Republic government in exile. He said, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, His Excellency EKPA Simon Njako. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I welcome you all today and thanks for inviting me. As you all know, we are now in the phase of progress, in the phase of action, in the phase of achievement, in the phase of what we have to do to continue the delegitimization of Nigeria within Biafra territory. Today, the chain that has held Biafra for many decades is broken. Few days, we have seen the upsurge of the Nigerian terrorists, military, and all their prostatals, accomplices in the killings of Biafra. They were all crying, and the cry is just starting. The killing of Biafrans at will by the Nigerian terrorist state is no longer something they will do and go free. Biafran, killing of any Biafran come with a price, big price, and they are paying it. I want everybody to understand that for the very first time in the history of Biafra, you see what is going on. There has never been any time in the history of Biafra agitation, liberation, that you see what is happening today happening. Because you can't continue to do the same thing and expect results. And because before you fight a country like Nigeria to protect your people, you must be able to study what Nigeria is all about. That is why in the medical field, when you go to hospital, you go to doctor, they will first of all conduct some kind of test to know what is your problem. Don't just carry you in the hospital and say, oh, what is your problem? You're having a headache. Okay, come and take this. Or you have a temperature. Come, let us give you a drug. No, that's a quack doctor. That's what they do in Africa. That's why many Africa can never progress until Biafra is restored and the beginning of civilization will start. So you have to identify the root cause of the problem before you can now know how to solve it. And that's what the Biafra Republic government in exile have done. And that's what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu saw in many of us. He knows that the people that surrounded him were a bunch of criminals, a bunch of idiots who doesn't know their left from their right. And then he began to shout for 100 men. So first, we studied Nigeria, the complicity of Nigeria, and how to break Nigeria. And believe me, I have not even unleashed the biggest secret. Many of you who followed after when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was kidnapped, you all remember the day I said a prayer for God to give us 1,000 men wisdom to face the challenges ahead of us. Believe me, from the beginning till now, we have always been spiritual. And before anything happened, we see ahead of it. I can tell you today that God did not just give 1,000 men wisdom, but more than 1,000 men. And we are just using only 5. We have not gotten to where we can even use 100, not to talk of 500. Today, they are listing the names of people who, according to them, is the problem of Nigeria. And you see, the Prime Minister of Biafra is one of the people they claim are the problem of Nigeria. Rather, Prime Minister Simon Ekpa came to rescue Biafra from the Nigeria problem, which Nigeria and British created. Today, they look for who to blame. They want criminals and terrorists from Sahel, all the way from Central Africa, to rig election and remove Jonathan from power. These terrorists came, and they were not compensated. And then after that, the people who brought them from northern Nigeria decided to use them for the Islamic agenda. And today, the Islamic agenda is in a very high speed. They look around to who they are going to blame, and they are blaming Biafra. Biafra is not the reason 200 people were killed on Christmas Day in Jos, Plateau State. Biafra is not the reason why many women and children have been slaughtered, thousands of them from January to 24th day of March 2024 in the northern Nigeria. Biafra is not the reason why Yoruba chiefs and Obas are being slaughtered in their homes by the Islamic terrorists sponsored by the Nigeria state. Biafra is not the reason why many people cannot go to their villages in the northeast, northwest, north central, southwest, and even in the southeast. But you see, all these problems they created was the problem that gave birth to Simon Ekpa today. Because I said at a point, enough is enough. I cannot continue to watch my people being killed, butchered, and their head chopped off by the terrorist sponsored by Nigeria state. The one that break the camel back is a story that I would like to share to people of Greece today. In 2021, after the kidnapping of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, or in 2020 before he was kidnapped also, terrorists attacked my village, slaughtered people that I know, slaughtered women and men that I know, cut off their head. And these people, I know their family, I know their children, and I watched this video. One of the survivor of this attack is still alive today. He saw Nigeria Army as part of those who came for that attack. From that day, the anger I have for Nigeria multiplied. One of the victims of this killing by the Nigeria Army in conjunction with the Fulani today reside in Libya. He is probably watching this program. His father was butchered, head cut off. These particular killings, I documented it very well. I sent it to the president of Finland. I sent it to Brussels during the time so-called Ellen White was still doing lobbying with the IPOB name. We compiled those things, sent to the United Nations, sent to everywhere. Nobody has been held responsible today. The next thing was the journalist that reported this killing was banned from entering Ebonyi State Government House to report about it because they reported about it. So some of you may remember when Omahe banned journalists from entering Ebonyi Government House. One of those journalists, his mother head was cut off. This is the first time I am sharing some secret. But today, from 2021 to this date, as you can see, nobody has been arrested because nobody would be arrested. I decided that in addition to all the killings of Biafrans, from Aba to the invasion of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's house, killing over 28, according to people, they say there were people that were killed at numbers 100. They say it was 28 people that was killed in Oyendu's house. Coupled to Mpo massacre, this is a direct killing by the Nigeria state, not suspected terrorists or suspected headers. And I pray to God to give me opportunity to defend my people. That opportunity is here. And I am defending Biafra with brutality. Very brutal. Nobody will kill Biafra again and live to tell the story. That's why anywhere they are in Biafra land, we will hunt them down. It is the best self-defense. In addition to that, the independent state of Biafra will follow it with diplomacy, political solution, and of course, the defense comes with the guerrilla warfare. We are not backing down. You kill us, we kill you back. They have declared that secessionists are wanted. They call me secessionist. Well, you can declare me wanted. We have also declared you wanted. And any place you see these people that are killing our people from Hokus or Dema, arrest them in Biafra land. Any place you see them, any day Tinubu will enter Biafra land, make sure he doesn't go back, we'll arrest him, harass him. The same thing goes to Shetima. From this day, the target of the Biafra Defense Forces is to make sure that those sponsoring the killing of Biafras will not be allowed to enter our territory. We must not give them a British space. We must not allow them to come to our land and kill and go. The time of that particular issue is over. We will fight them tooth to tooth. We will fight them iron to iron. We will fight them gun to gun. We will defend our land to the last drop of our people. And they are running mad because somebody actually stood up to say enough is enough. For this to happen, we must understand that the enemy has planted this, disagreement, disunity, fighting, and all that within the Biafra people. It is normal. It doesn't move me. It doesn't move anybody who understands what the government oppressors can do in order to weaken the collectiveness and the power of the people of the victim. And that they have done very well. Today, you see people who were fighting for Biafra many years ago. All of a sudden, they are not telling you that Nigeria, they are not telling you. And I want to make it very clear. Nobody owns Biafra. Nobody owns Biafra. Biafra is owned by everyone who believes in Biafra. Nobody have the monopoly to restore Biafra. The only thing is that God has ordained some people while giving birth to them from the beginning that they are going to be the one that God will use to restore Biafra. And today we are here. That's exactly what we're doing. There is no threat that will move us. Our freedom is guaranteed. Guaranteed by the laws, international laws, the United Nations treaties, African Union Charter, and what have you. I am promising you today, in a matter of days, we will start the legal process for Nigeria for reparation to Biafra government. That particular reparation will start a few days to come, and the information will be public. We will fight Nigeria from all corners. We will fight them legally. As this particular declaration is approaching, we will make Nigeria very, very uncomfortable. It is going to be the only target we have is to make sure that Nigeria is uncomfortable on the declaration of Biafra. So we are going to fight them from African Union to the UN to any other entity that Nigeria is part of. The process, the next step of this Biafra liberation is the application for reparation. Thank you, everyone.
All right, so now we are going to be listening to the main video of our Prime Minister. So you're welcome. As you watch this video, I beg you, comment.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, Biafrans all over the world. Welcome to this day as we take you on the progress so far of the Biafra liberation. This is the Biafra liberation briefing, where I've come this evening to update Biafrans on the progress we have made so far. I welcome you, ladies and gentlemen of the press, those of you who have seated on your various platforms to listen to this particular briefing this evening. I welcome you, lovers of freedom, friends of Biafrans all over the world, those of you watching from the Biafra different media platform, the Voice of Biafra, 97.5 FM in Biafra land, those of you listening to different and various YouTube channels and other social media platforms run by the Biafra Republic government in exile. I welcome all of you this evening. First of all, I would like to thank Biafra people for the progress we have made so far because of their resilience, their support, and the courage they have displayed so far. Without wasting any of your time, as we have waited for the past 30 minutes to start this particular briefing, I want to inform you today, Biafra people, that we have been able to have the state-by-state structure of the Biafra de facto government of the United States of Biafra. First of all, before going forward in bringing this particular update today, I would like to play a very significant video that many of you may have watched in the past.
In the southeast of the country, we're seeing the Indigenous Peoples Organisation of Biafra, IPOB. They are protesting peacefully for the most part on a regular basis, and there has been video. I could show you some video that's been posted of a very...
No, thank you.
These are the images the President didn't want to see. They're on the internet and we can't verify exactly what they show, but it appears as though security forces were shooting at unarmed protesters in the southeastern state of Abia. This is footage I can't personally verify.
I want you to listen to that particular statement. Security agencies, which is known as Boko Haram, that were disguising as security agencies in Nigeria, has been killing Biafrans for ages. This is one of the examples and one of the reasons we are armed today. And of course, as usual, during this time, the Biafra people were without arms. And the president, as you can hear him, he doesn't care. He doesn't want to watch the image. And that is number one point I would like you to listen to and get from this point, because this particular briefing today is going to touch a lot on the security, the Biafra forces, the Biafra resistance fighters, the Biafra Liberation Army, and at the same time to the state structure that we are creating today. So let us continue.
But it looks as though the security forces have gone in very heavy-handedly shooting, and there were reported to be 7 deaths. I'm wondering, how are you planning to deal with this issue of Biafra? You, of course, have first-hand experience.
For a 30-month civil war, at least 2 million Nigerians were killed. And for somebody to wake up, maybe he wasn't born when there was just fighting in Biafra and said he wants Biafra again. We have multi-party democracy system now. Let them organize themselves and vote for to have a state within a state, but to try and interfere with movement of troops, with economy, looking for Biafra after losing 2 million people, I think they are joking with Nigeria's security, and Nigeria will not tolerate it.
All right. The second point I would like to bring to your attention this evening is what this man said. He said, let them organize themselves and vote for a state within a state, and that they are trying to interfere in the Nigeria affair, that Nigeria is not going to tolerate it. Anyway, unfortunately for them and him, we are now organizing ourselves. We now have a state within a state. And that's exactly what I have come to explain to Biafrans today, for those who have been misled into supporting Nigeria pressure group. I want you to listen to what I'm about to do this evening, because as of today, we have been able to organize ourselves. We have been able to have a state within a state as of today, until we have the declaration after the self-referendum, which is going to take place very soon. So this is exactly what many of you do not know, and probably he did not understand when he said all those things. Now, I do not need to go and start playing these videos because many of you have watched it. However, I want to inform you this evening that the process and the step-by-step to the liberation of Biafra from Nigeria. One is that for decades, for some of you who have realized from the beginning, immediately Mazen Amdekano was kidnapped, that the people following him were criminals. And you realize it immediately, you jump the face to the autopilot. Then, you are very, very smart to have done that. And I give every credit to you, all of you, because it means that you saw tomorrow. It means that you are a visionary person. And today you can be very proud that the decision you took in 2021 was indeed a very right decision to support me, to support whoever that was with me then until today. You are going to write your name, or you already written your name in the book of history, because Biafra is here. Now, in all these years, are you hearing Biafra? For those of you who have joined Biafra struggle since it was Rike, there is nothing, there is no focus, there was no direction, there was no structure, there was nothing to show that you are indeed fighting for Biafra. And when we talk about Biafra, we are talking about a nation. We're talking about a country. For you to have a country, you must be able to organize yourself, build a government structure, build a government institution, not just shouting, you want freedom, and there is no structure, there is nothing that shows seriousness, there is no organized government institution to prove to the world that you are actually ready for freedom. That we have changed within 2 years. My fellow Biafran, as a Prime Minister of the Biafra Republic government in exile, while I was the spokesperson of the Biafra people, we were able to put the required structures and government institution that the international community and every reasonable organization in the world will require from you to show seriousness that you are indeed ready for your freedom and ready for your country and ready for your nation. We were able to set up the Biafra government in exile. From the Biafra government in exile, we went into setting up the Biafra de facto government. From the Biafra de facto government, we are now working on state-by-state map and state-by-state structure. And for that reason, we have been able to come up with the Biafra name, official name, which is the Biafra United States of Biafra. And as of today, it remains 40 states. The 40 states may change from tomorrow. Tomorrow, we have given a deadline for every region, for every ethnic nationality that see themselves as part of Biafra to come up with their state structure. Tomorrow is the last date. So from tomorrow, we may have a slight change in the 40 states. It may be more than 40 states. It may still be 40 states, but change of names according to what the people actually want. So tomorrow being the deadline for every ethnic nationality within Biafra territory to submit their state structure, then Biafra people will be updated again. So you should be expecting another State of the Union address on the 5th of December 2023, where we will come to address Biafra again on the current and updated state structure and the number of states. Within 2 years, my fellow Biafrans, we have been able to set up the Biafra forces. For you to be able to be recognized as a state, for you to merit or meet the requirement to be listened to by any reasonable organization, including the United Nations, America, Europe, and every other, is for you to be able to show the capacity that you are ready to become a nation and to become a free country of your own. That is one. You must be able to show the capacity to control forces, army, military forces. These military forces, Biafra government in exile and the Biafra Republic government, de facto government in the homeland, has been able to have and unveiled the Biafra Liberation Army. The Biafra Liberation Army has been unveiled and they are very, very potent. The Biafra Liberation Army has been able to display the highest tenacity by defeating the Nigerian army in every attempt for them to invade our land. It is the reason the chief of defense staff, and every other chief of security in Nigeria went to the National Assembly to cry that Simon Ekpa has become a menace in Nigeria. It is not just by ordinary broadcasting on social media, it is because of what the Biafra forces has done. And that particular statement is a validation of the fact that Biafra has a military department. It is a fact that Biafra has army under the government, even though they have not they are yet to start recognizing them and mentioning the Biafra Liberation Army. We know they are going to be forced to mention Biafra Liberation Army in due time, because we are changing the pattern of our offensive from this month of December. So Biafrans, we've been able to set up our Biafra army. It is part of the requirement for you to become a nation. So those of you who have been, supporting the Biafra from Wazirike up to this point, and without direction, without any structure, other than the structure of criminality, other than how they deceived Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and sold him, that is what you who have deviated from supporting the Nigeria Pressure Group to supporting the real Biafra liberation movement of today, of which I am the Prime Minister, you have made a very wise decision. And I am this evening to tell you that the decision you've made has brought us this far. And I'm here to tell you step by step how a nation is restored. We have been able to do that. And again, the delegitimization of the Nigeria government within Biafra land have started in full force. We have announced the delegitimization of Nigeria, which is part of the Biafra liberation. This means that now we are focusing on making sure that all the terrorists in police uniform, all the terrorists in army uniform, all the terrorists in navy uniform, any army carrying or arm carrying terrorist under Nigeria state carrying arms, and you are in Biafra territory, our aim is to make sure we neutralize you before you kill any Biafra. You are not there for the progress of the Biafra people. We continue to ban the military checkpoint, police checkpoint, and any checkpoint at all, be it Navy, be it Air Force, any checkpoint at all in Biafra land remain banned. And any day you will be attacked if you are in a checkpoint. That you are not being attacked today does not mean that you are not going to be attacked tomorrow. That's why we continue to call on Biafrans to stay 1 kilometer away from any checkpoint. Our aim, our objective, and our target is to make sure we neutralize every checkpoint within Biafra territory. It is part of the Biafra government project. We also make it very clear that we are calling on the Nigeria state, on Islamic Nigeria state, to pull and withdraw every security agency from Biafra land. And what we have done also is for those who are asking always, where is your Biafra map? I want to inform you today that the Biafra government in exile and the Biafra de facto government have been able to work on the map of Biafra. The map of Biafra, where you have the present southeast, the present south-south, and also part of Benue and part of Kogi, Lower Kogi State. Lower Benue and part of Lower Kogi State. And those maps will be out officially from tomorrow, the 4th day of December. So for those who have been always shouting and abusing indigenous people of Biafra, led by Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, people like Tony Nadi, people like all those idiotic people who always shout, where is your map? Where is your map? We are proudly telling them today that Biafra has a map that the people by themselves organized, people by themselves structured, people by themselves organized, and they were all happy about the outcome of these maps and outcome of these state structures. If you are not part of it, it is normal. You do not expect everybody to be part of a liberation movement like this. People will agree, some people will not agree. And that's why when the time for the referendum comes, we are expecting some people against it. It is a normal thing. But the idea and the good news is that those who are supporting the liberation of Biafra are more in number. We have about 90% or 99% of Biafra people who do not want to be part of Nigeria again, running into 70 million of people. So when they tell you all these years, where is your map? You are shouting Biafra. You have not consulted the people. You have not done this. You have not done that. Today, we have broken the jinx. And the people of the South, as they call it today, have been given the opportunity for them to come up with their own map, and they are working on that very, very diligently. And by tomorrow, we are going to have the complete map of the Biafra. And then you are going to see your state, your villages, your district, your counties, step by step, as we have done it. So the issue of map has also been addressed. This is one of the biggest challenges that the Biafra movement has encountered for ages. No map, no agreement, because what we're able to do is to give the people the opportunity to, by themselves, choose how they want to be governed and how they want to govern themselves, and also to be themselves resolve the issue of boundaries and map. That has brought us to where we are today. The issue of map has been resolved. Another issue that we are also going to inform the Biafra people today is the issue of the leadership in the South and the leadership in the Southeast. The leadership, those in the leadership, those in the political leadership, those in the religious leaders and all that, we do not need your voice. We no longer need your voice. We don't need you to speak good about Biafra. We don't need you to advocate for Biafra, because Nigeria is a very volatile state. Now that they are completely Islamic state recognized by the United Kingdom, you do not have the freedom of speech. Once you side Biafra, you will be eliminated. And those of you who are general overseers in the church, once you talk about Biafra, your church will become a target. Either target of sanction, either target of closure, either target of persecution and intimidation. And we do not want that to happen to you, because you have not spoken up to this point. We are calling on all religious leaders, all political leaders who are having double mind, and they know that indeed Biafrans are not welcome in Nigeria. All you need to do is to support the current Biafra Republic government in exile financially. Is to support the Biafra de facto government in the homeland financially. Is to support the Biafra military, Biafra forces, and Biafra fighters financially. We don't need you to speak. Your voice doesn't add anything as the current Nigeria state as it is standing. The time your voice is needed is over. There is no amount of statement you are going to give today that is going to change anything. So what you need is to support the movement secretly, financially, in order to secure yourself when Biafra comes. Because without your finance, Biafra is indeed going to come. And I want to inform every Biafran who have been asking, when are you going to declare Biafra? You told us that Biafra is going to come in 2023. Indeed, you are already in Biafra government. You are already in Biafra land. You are already in Biafra as a nation. You have a state of your own. You have the military of your own. And we are going to work on the police, because police is going to be state by state police. So when you are expecting when Biafra is going to be declared, you are already in Biafra. We have actually systematically declared Biafra. And I want you to understand that what we are doing now is exactly the thing that the Nigeria Islamic movement did in the Nigeria Constitution. They restructured Nigeria, the Fulanis, they restructured Nigeria systematically. And today, you find out that it was not very difficult for them to have a Muslim ticket. Why you are still shouting a secular state, and you are going to church and shouting prayer, oh, God is not possible, no Muslim can never rule the country. It is a systematic restructure. They have restructured it, and we have said this thing several times. So what we are doing now is, when you are expecting us to start fighting conventional war and start declaring Biafra, that is a nomadic way of fighting for freedom. What we do now is to put every government institution in place, to structure the government institution from A to Z, to have the government, the state government, to have the counties, to have the district, and then also appoint leaders to, occupy those positions. And by doing that, you have formed a state within a state, and it is going to be a systematic way to also liberate Biafra. So while Nigeria have done their own, the Fulanis have done their own for many years, we are now starting to do the right thing. Since the beginning of the struggle for Biafra, this is the only time we have gotten it right. I am telling you, since the beginning of Biafra, this is the only time we've gotten it right. And by the time we finish setting up the state structure, we go a very ruthless offensive against Nigeria terrorist security in Biafra land, which is going to start very, very soon. And we are going to make sure we deal with them mercilessly until you see them no more anywhere in Biafra land. So this particular state institution is what is needed for you to prove to the international community, to whoever care to know, that indeed you have organized yourself. You have organized yourself, having a de facto government, having a government structure, running the government, which we are already doing, making sure that every government institution, you have created them. You may not have them physically. We are not going to have any physical structure at this point until we begin to evict the security forces with their weapons before we begin to talk about a physical structure. At this point, we are only creating the structures of the government institution to make sure that whenever we are called upon, we have something to present to the people who care to know. This includes the economic viability of Biafra. This includes every other government department, and this we have actually done, and the next is going to be the currency of Biafra. The Biafra currency, before we go into that, we will make sure that a kind of Biafra coin is in play, and Biafra people will be able to start using Biafra currency in coin before the official inauguration or the official unveiling of the Biafra Central Bank. And for those who do not understand how this is done, we will continue to use Naira as long as we have not declared Biafra. We will continue to use whatever that we have within the Nigeria state until the day we declare Biafra. Before the declaration of Biafra, everything has to be put in place. You have to have the Biafra currency in place. You have to have all these state structures in place. You have to have everything, including the passport, in place. And today, we are not only putting these structures and institutions in the homeland, we are also putting the Biafra Lands offices, which will later become the Biafra embassy in different countries of the world. My fellow Biafran, I want to inform you people that from now going forward, those states that we witness killings of Biafra people, we are going to sanction them heavily. I want to appeal to every Biafran to understand that the freedom fighting is not something that you expect not to lose. You are going to lose. You are going to make sacrifice. And that sacrifice is something that you must do. So when we begin to impose certain measures, we will begin to impose sit at home or other civil disobedience, as the case may be. It is not targeted at punishing you, the Biafra people. It is targeted at delegitimizing the Nigeria government. It is targeted at weakening the Nigeria government. It is targeted at making sure that the power of the governors is reduced. It's targeted at making sure that the power of the governors is taken away from them, because these are the people that Nigeria planted in us, and they are not representing the interests of the people. They represent the interests of Nigeria state and their own personal interests. So the sit-at-home and other civil disobedience is not targeted at you, the Biafra people. Rather, it is targeted at showing how weak the system is. It is targeted at showing to the world that the Biafra people has rejected those illegitimate governors. It is targeted at showing to the world and to whoever care to know that the Biafra people are no longer interested in their leadership. It is to show to the world that Biafrans are loyal to this government, which is the Biafra government in exile, and the de facto government, which has now have its structure, well structured, both in diaspora and in Biafra land. So the sit-at-home civil disobedience is sort to come to the history at the end of the day, because you are making history today. And for that reason, the killing of Biafrans in Ihala and Luli, for that reason, we are locking down Anambra State tomorrow. And I want everyone to understand that tomorrow, lockdown in Anambra will be something you have never seen before. I want everyone to cut this video and share it to all WhatsApp group, all business and traders group, any shop or any market that open tomorrow. Believe me, Biafra people will deal with that market. It is a Biafra government that is ordering the lockdown of Anambra State. We will make sure that no government offices will be open in Anambra tomorrow. If any office open in Anambra, we will raise them down. If any government office opens in Anambra State tomorrow, it does not matter how long it's going to take. It does not matter how many months it's going to take. We will bring it down. That is the price you pay. And this particular civil disobedience is very, very important to punish the government of Anambra State, that you can never kill Biafra again and go free. To punish Soludo, to make Soludo, who is an illegitimate governor as far as Biafra is concerned, that all Anambra State have now forced it. To inform Soludo that he is no longer in charge of Anambra State, representing Nigeria. To inform Soludo that Anambra remain Biafra, and Biafra Anambra shall be. By tomorrow, every road leading to Anambra will be under curfew. I want everyone to understand what I'm saying. I did not say sit at home. I said curfew, 6 to 6. Anambra will be locked down tomorrow, 4th day of December 2023. Anambra will be locked down on the 5th, which is next tomorrow, the 5th December 2023, and the 6th December 2023. These 3 days is a day we are going to use to hunt down the killers of that little boy. This particular 3 days is the day we are going to use to hunt down the killers of Biafrans in Uli. Those people that killed those children, those people that killed that little boy in Ihiala, it is from tomorrow. From tonight, not even from tomorrow. From tonight, we are hunting them. So if you know that you are in Anambra State and you are a Biafran and you are wearing any terrorist uniform, from the army, from the police, from tonight, go and hide it. Believe me, go and hide it. You people have committed atrocities, war crime, genocide unchecked. And now we are checking it. So this particular order make sure that no movement of any Nigeria terrorists in uniform in Anambra State, starting from tomorrow. Any place we see you, any place we see you moving with gun in Anambra State, from tomorrow, you will go down. It is to show you that you can no longer kill Biafra again. And let me tell you, after this particular sit-at-home in Anambra State, things will never remain the same. So, fellow Biafra, Like I said before, when you look at what is happening around the world, there are crises everywhere. There are war everywhere. We are not going into conventional war at this point. For those thinking that we are going to fight war with Nigeria, we are already at war with Nigeria. And this war this time around is not a conventional war. It's a systematic war that anybody who stepped his foot as a military man, as a police, to come to kill in Biafra land, you will be dead. You can never go back alive. I want to inform Biafra people that the Biafra Liberation Army from tomorrow is embarking on Operation Python must be killed. Killing the python. From tomorrow, the Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra resistance fighters will be embarking on Operation Killing the Python. Operation Killing the Python. Those python that danced in Biafra land and killed many Biafrans. From tomorrow, it is Operation Killing the Python, wherever they are. Any place you see them, bring them down. These are the people who have killed without remorse. They have no regard to constitution. They have no regard to law. They have no regard to international law. They have no regard to rule of engagement. They come, they kill, and nobody check them. And today, we are well armed to defend our land. And for that reason, the python must be killed. So from tomorrow, fellow Biafran, I want everybody to understand that any place you see any military car, any military van, any military terrorist van, any terrorist police van, run! Because to avoid getting hit by stray bullet. We do not want any civilian to suffer. We do not want any civilian or Biafra person to die. We do not want any scratch to happen to any civilian. It is our duty as a government to protect you. It's our duty as a government to make sure we provide the security that Nigeria has never provided for you since you were born. And that's why I will continue to shout, to give directive that you must stay very clear and stay away from any moving military vehicle, any moving military police vehicle, any security agent that carries gun in Biafra land. Don't go close to them because stray bullet may hit you. Operation Python must be killed. Will be activated from the 4th of December 2023. Fellow Biafran, as we have completed setting up the Biafra de facto government, state structure, and other institution, the Biafra liberation will have come to almost a conclusive end. And when the state starts functioning as it should be, we will then go into the data collection of the Biafra people. The data collection of Biafra people will be announced very, very soon. Solution is there. Those of you in diaspora will have access and opportunity to have Biafra national identity card. It is only open to the Biafrans in diaspora, and those in the homeland will only have the opportunity to have their data collected. The data collection is very important, very imperative in the pursuit for the liberation of Biafra, especially on the upcoming Biafra self-referendum. And when this starts happening, you are going to be informed. So my fellow Biafran, when they ask you what has Simon Ekpa done, what has autopilot in those days done, what has Biafra government in exile done, tell them we have actually restored Biafra. Tell them that we have constituted, we have formed a government. Tell them that we did not only form the exile government, we have also formed a de facto government. Tell them we did not just form a government, we have built and structured all the government institutions. That is the prerequisite requirement for a nation to stand. That is a prerequisite requirement for a nation to be approved. That's a prerequisite requirement for people who are serious organizations to know that you actually know what you're doing and they're actually ready to govern yourself. And like I said, we do not expect anybody from the the looters and corrupt leaders to support what we are doing. It is not for them. Biafra is not for them. Biafra is for those who have been deprived their right and opportunity for decades since the creation of Nigeria. It is not for those who Nigeria has made what they have become today. So we are not expecting people like Iwanyanwu to support Biafra. We are not expecting people like Abaribe to support Biafra. We are not expecting people like Hopu Zodema to support Biafra. They are already made by Nigeria and they can never support Biafra and they can never support the movement. So we are not expecting them to support and they don't speak for us. In the next phase, we will look into banning Ohaneze from any activity in Biafra land. That is the next phase that is coming. But we are very, very busy in making sure that we organize ourselves very well, as the man who died, who called himself Buhari, said. That particular organizing yourself is very, very important. A lot of people did not pick that particular point from that man. And so we are making sure that everything that we should do, we are doing it. We're making sure that what the international law requires as a nation to be recognized, as a nation to be approved, is being done by the Biafra government, both in the homeland and in exile. Today, I am very proud of all of you who have supported financially and otherwise to make sure that we are where we are today. I want you to understand that Biafra land is secured. Biafra land can never be Islamized. Biafra people are very unique. We are very stubborn and we are very brave people. And today, I am very, very proud to inform you that your braveness, your courage, and your support has brought us where we are today. We have also listened to the Elders Forum of the Northern Elders Forum statement asking that Igbos should be allowed to go, or Southeast, however they call it. But we want to inform them that there is nothing like Southeast. There is nothing like South-South. There is nothing like Ndi Igbo should go. We are coming with our map. Biafra is coming with a map. And by the time we finish with the map from tomorrow, we are going to make it public so that whoever that is addressing those who want to exit Nigeria, those who want to exit Nigeria as Biafra, they will address us properly. They will understand that this is not just Igbo affair. This is not just Igbo cause. This is a Biafra cause, and they must address us as such. I want to also make everyone understand that they have been avoiding mentioning Biafra Liberation Army. They have been avoiding mentioning Biafra government. These are the things they avoid. The Biafra Liberation Army neutralized Nigeria Army, kill them when they come to kill Biafra people. And when they want to report it, they report unknown gunmen. What kind of stupidity and confusion is that? Biafra government, Biafra Liberation Army, and Biafra resistance fighters taking responsibility of neutralizing the terrorist army who come to Biafra land to kill. And this responsibility we are taking because we are neutralizing them. But each time they want to report, they report that it is unknown gunmen. We are not unknown gunmen. Biafra Liberation Army has been unveiled officially by myself during the Helsinki Convention. And also, I would like to address the issue of the images that were being displayed on their social media by the Nigeria Terrorist Army, that they captured about 100 or 30 ESN personnel. I want everyone to understand that the people that were captured has absolutely nothing to do with the Biafra Liberation Army. You can never capture Biafra Liberation Army. You can never go close to Biafra Liberation Army, except those, if any, who want to sell out. they can go to you and you arrest them. But anybody that is in Biafra Liberation Army camp, you can never go close to them. So I want to, inform Biafra people to disregard whatever that you see on social media flying. We are very proud of our men. We are very, very proud of our personnel. They are well trained, well grounded, and they have overpowered Nigerian military, as evidently can be confirmed by the cry of the Chief of Defense Staff. That cry you see is a cry of people that have been overpowered by the Biafra Liberation Army. Our offensive will start tomorrow. Tomorrow is the day that the offensive of the Biafra Liberation Army will go to the next level, and it is called Operation Kill the Python. Python danced many years ago, Python 1, Python 2, Python 3, Python 4, and they killed Biafran without remorse. Today, we are going to hunt them down in Biafra land. Anybody wearing that khaki is a Python, and the person, that particular Python must be killed. Again, on the issue of the liberation task. The liberation task is going to be activated in Biafra land very, very soon. As soon as the state structure is complete, we are going to activate the Biafra liberation task in all state of Biafra. So every state will have a structure and measures how their Biafra liberation tax will be collected. As of today, the Biafra de facto government has appointed the finance minister, which is known to only those executives of the state. The finance minister and other financial department in the Biafra de facto government is coming up with measures how the Biafra liberation tax will be collected, and everybody in Biafra land and those in Nigeria will be given opportunity to participate in funding the Biafra liberation. Last but not least, we want to use the opportunity to call every personnel, Biafra personnel or Biafra person serving in Nigeria Army, Nigeria Police, Nigeria Navy, Nigeria Air Force. If you are serving in all these institutions mentioned now and you are very close to Biafra land or you are in Biafra land, resign. Resign. If they bring you to Biafra, resign, because once you have that uniform on, we don't know who you are. You are the enemy and you are our enemy. This is a last warning and last call for you to resign. If you are deployed to Biafra territory to kill, pull off your cloth and resign, and look for contact where you can contact me or some of your group if you want to serve the Biafra army or the Biafra forces. You are welcome. You are welcome, and you will be treated and respected, not what they are giving you or trying to kill you for nothing within the Nigeria state. Biafra will value you, and once you fight for Biafra, it is something that you should be proud of. So every one of you that are serving within Biafra territory, today is your last day. Both police, today is your last day. Army, today is your last day. Navy, today is your last day. Except you are not in Biafra land. If you are not in Biafra land, it is your problem. You can die in the north, that is your business. But if you are in Biafra land, today, this 3rd day of December is your last day in Biafra land. Resign. Pull off your cloth and stop killing Biafrans. Because if we catch you in that uniform, it does not matter who you are gone. Thank you very much for being part of this program, and especially on the issue of the sit at home tomorrow in Anambra. Remember that tomorrow is also the normal Monday sit at home, especially the people in Enugu State. Those of you in Enugu State, nobody has called off or cancelled the sit at home in Enugu State. Enugu State, you are inviting the wrath of Biafra. And when that wrath comes, you will not stand it. Enugu State will be locked down tomorrow. And if there is any challenges in Enugu, we will then single Enugu out for complete lockdown. And if it is Enugu, we will bring our gate, we will open the gate in Enugu. If after tomorrow there is any slight issue with the sit at home in Enugu State tomorrow, we are going to open gate in Enugu. A very heavy one, and everybody will feel it. The liberation of Biafra is not a child play. You must be ready to pay the price. You must be ready to sacrifice. And the sacrifice you are going to make is just this little small civil disobedience. In order to delegitimize Nigeria, in order to make Nigeria useless, in order to make the government that Nigeria has instituted in our land to be very useless. That is what we are doing, nothing else. And then it is going to lead to the declaration of Biafra immediately. The state structure is complete. So I am calling all the states that are yet to submit their structures to make sure that they meet up with the deadline tomorrow. Tomorrow remain the deadline. The 4th of December, every structure of the state must be submitted. I want to thank you all for being part of this particular briefing today. Remember that you are already in Biafra land. Remember that the Biafra nation is already there. You are already, if you are in Biafra land, if you are in the south, southeast, and the lower Benue, and other part of lower Kogi, you are already in Biafra. Don't wait for me to declare it. We have already declared Biafra. For the fact that you find yourself in those states, for the fact that we control and enjoy the loyalty of the Biafra people, you are already in Biafra. Wait until I declare Biafra after the structure has been put in place, after we have done and concluded our self-referendum. The Biafra has come. Fellow Biafran, I want to assure you that indeed Biafra has been restored in 2023. It can never be possible without the structures we have put in place. It can never be possible without what we are bringing to the table. The government institutions and everything that we have done so far. That is what can bring Biafra. And that is what will bring Biafra. And that is what has brought Biafra to the limelight. And that is why you are now living in Biafra territory. It remains the declaration after the self-referendum, which we are already putting everything in place. You are going to follow this particular historic step by step. You are going to follow the history of how Biafra will become a nation step by step. Our own is to make sure that Nigeria terrorist security forces in Biafra land, Woto, the Woto can never stop. We will continue to give them Woto. Woto will continue until they leave. Our demand is that every security agent in Biafra land representing Nigeria must be withdrawn. You must be withdrawn. If you don't withdraw them and they're still in Biafra land, they will all die there. Thank you. May God bless you. From here, from me, is good evening.
Nigeria, on a daily basis, witness the impunity which is so-called Fulani herdsmen extremists who share an ethnic and religious identity with President Buhari and the Fulani elite, which now dominates all key institutions in Nigeria.
To open an investigation specifically into the wide-scale and systematic killing of the civilian population, and most notably targeting the indigenous people of Biafra.
Clear that now we've put the Biafran issue on the radar screen of the government, of the Biden.
Invite them for talks.
Why should we invite them?
For the most part, they appear to be young people, as you said.
All right, my people. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Do me a favor. Hit the like button. Watching from Twitter, retweet this video. I wish I can find another long video about an hour to show again, but all the same, we must continue to do the needful. We owe nobody anything. The freedom we are looking for, we are fighting for, is something we must get, because like our leader will always tell you, that is sacrosanct. Yes, it's very, 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 very sacrosanct. So we must fight and we must win. We no get choice. We no get choice. Now be one thing where everybody must understand. When you think you have choice, well, I wouldn't know the kind of choice you have. The only choice you have is to remain a slave. The video I made before this, I made it clear and we saw the proof what it means to be Islamic nation or person and what it means to be a Muslim. They are two different things. They are two different things, and this is what people are not understanding, and this is where people are getting all these things mixed up. They will think that is the same thing now. What is the difference? Is it not to be a Muslim? Is beyond being a Muslim. Is beyond going to do alakoba in the church. This is one thing you must understand. Muslim is to be a Muslim is not to be Islamically radicalized. So we must understand the difference and we must follow. So my people, I go stop this video here. This evening, I will go see again very soon. Maybe this night, anytime I will come back online again. So I must say thank you so much for watching. And I must say bye for now.
I want you people to understand that the liberation of Biafra has entered the highest stage in the history of Biafra. Not even during the war. I am telling you, it has entered the highest stage ever. And we are going to do everything humanly possible in this life to restore Biafra. Everything humanly possible will be done. And I want you people to understand that the Biafra liberation is step by step, segment by segment, plan by plan, executions by execution. We'll be executing those plans according to the template till the last one. And Biafra.
Let us go talk about the objective of your struggle and how do you intend to achieve it in practical terms?
In practical terms, it is civil disobedience. The same way that Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. accomplished civil rights in America, the same way that Mahatma Gandhi led India to independence out of British colonial rule. The same principles we are applying, and might I add, very successfully too. We will do everything possible to unravel and unshackle the zoo called Nigeria. Everything humanly possible. No stone will be left unturned. We will sacrifice everything sacrificable. Material, life, blood will throw into.
And we will do everything humanly possible to see the Biafra exit